I started as a student back in 1999, and I have progressed through the ranks, as you might say, from student to monitor, then to supervisor. Eventually I was the deputy principal at Gateway Christian School, and I am currently the principal and administrator of Accelerated Academy in White River.
And I graduated in 2001, and I started ACE when I was in grade 3, and it's been a journey and a half.
I couldn't speak a word of English, so when I got to do my diagnostic test, I got everything wrong.
I'm a registered nurse, and I am currently doing my postgraduate diploma in critical care nursing.
Now I am in the fire service in Cape Town for going on 8 years now.
I'm studying animation. I'm enjoying it thoroughly. It's amazing.
I studied psychology in varsity. I did my bachelor's degree, and I would like to continue with my honours and masters later on, but right now I'm dealing with children.
My dad was the principal, my mom was the secretary, so I couldn't get away with anything. They knew all the tips and the tricks.
I went into engineering, specifically chemical engineering. I have a PhD now that I received from University of Stellenbosch in 2009. I work in the defence sector, specifically rocket propulsion.
And I used to love how the teachers presented themselves. It's not sloppy, it's not comfortable, they're just so professional. And that ultimately inspired me to become a teacher myself.
From the point that I graduated till I got my PhD was about 4.5 years. And if I hadn't started working, I probably would have finished in about 3.5 years. So, which is 5 months short of the shortest amount of time that a PhD may take.
I've always had a love for ACE and for what it stands for, the character building, the principles. I can see so much of what it has done for me and in my life, and how it has molded and shaped me.
And what I've learned in ACE is that how to be positive and not receiving negative things over myself or over anybody.
And to be able to have a part in that same process for other students as they go through the curriculum and discover who they are and discover God's purpose for their lives. It's an amazing experience to be part of.
In the ACE system, it was never just do your work and go home. They always cared about you beyond schoolwork.
I mean, I would talk about my school moms. You know, I had school moms that, you know, I could speak to about anything and that I would go to with stuff, and, you know.
I'm also a big fan, even now afterwards, looking back to the fact that the curriculum stays the same or it is improved. Our pass rate is our pass rate. It doesn't drop to get a lot of people through. You know, you're getting that quality that you started with in the beginning.
I mean, even today, all the scripture verses that you got to memorize, I'll be in a situation and suddenly a scripture verse will come to mind and be like, and I mean, then it'll often be the King James Version because that's what they give us in the books.
And I didn't like ACE at first, actually. I fought against the system. I was in detentions many times.
I was taught very well to be punctual, and that's also very important in this job. Even when I was homeschooling, my mom and my dad, if I was a minute past 8, if I wasn't at my desk, I'd have a demerit.
Somewhere along the lines, my mom lost her job and we didn't have the money anymore. So it was then decided that I would have to go to a government school. And that scared me when I realized, oh, but wait, if I go to government school, I'm not going to have the individual attention anymore. It's not going to be a small class. It's not going to be Christian, and I'm going to have to deal with all kinds of things that are in the government schools. And it was at that point that I really realized the value of where I was.
In my grade 11 year, my parents started getting worried about the matric situation because it was getting difficult for kids to get into varsity. And my mom looked at taking me out into a government school, and I didn't want to go because I really loved my school. And I put my foot down and I said, I'm not leaving, Mom. I would really like to stay here. I just want to trust God with my future. And I did. And it's really worked out. God was always there, and he made ways for me, and I had no problems with varsity or anything like that.
Somebody young like myself, I look to people who've been doing this for a long time, and I want to say thank you for that, because you are an encouragement to those of us who are younger. Your faithfulness and the way that you trust God, the way that you keep going in difficult circumstances is a testimony to us.
One of the first conventions in South Africa, as a 13-year-old girl, I gave my life to the Lord. And I gave my life up, and I said to the Lord that He can use me in whatever way that He chose. And so He has chosen me to be a light in education in South Africa, and so I've come back to work and partner with AEE and with the ACE curriculum to being a light. Even if we only reach one child at a time, so be it. But that one child, you never know who they're going to become.